Hello, everybody. I wanted to pop on here really quickly and talk to you. So we are going into spring. Today is the 22nd of March. We had the spring equinox and the full moon, the last supermoon of 2019. And it was really beautiful. It was a really beautiful time. But there has been so much clearing of energies. I don't know if you guys are reading mine right now and you can tell, but this has been a roller coaster. A lot of things have been changing with my business, the direction that it's going, my life, and things like this. And I wanted to share with you that through this time of clearing, energetic, mental, emotional, physical, and of course spiritual, and those of you who follow my quantum status posts and whatnot, you know that when I talk about spirituality, I'm not referring to anything that has anything to do with religion or anything like that. It is a multidimensional journey in my, I guess, definition of spirituality. And I want to share with you that this is truly a time for you to be stepping forward in your power, in who you are, as the amazing, incredible, energetic individual that you are. This is not a time to be sitting back and sitting back and asking yourself if you're worthy. It's not a time to be sitting back and asking yourself if you deserve the wealth and prosperity and richness, the loving relationship, the great relationship with your family even, or these sorts of things. It's a time for you to be coming forward and addressing who you really are and letting go of everything that isn't really you. So I practice very much what I preach. And this last 2 weeks, I found myself shifting on such a phenomenal level. Like the level of shift I was having was blowing me away. I've been working with people for a long time now. And I felt my life going a certain direction. And I've been asking my higher self very, very regularly what is going on and what direction I need to be taking. And I started getting some very, very, very clear messages from my higher self as to what my life was really supposed to mean, what my purpose really truly was. And I couldn't deny it. But I went through this time where I was kind of like fighting it and saying that that's not me. I could never do that. I'm too shy and too reserved. Isn't it enough that I stepped forward and I've started doing these podcasts, and they're public and everyone can see them. And I've had to step into a new level of responsibility with the way people judge me and look at me and critique me. I'm talking to my higher self and I'm saying, isn't that enough? Isn't it enough? Haven't I shared enough messages and higher self expressions with people? Where people know who I am. They they hear about quantum physics and quantum energy and how it impacts your life and higher perspectives of being, what more could I possibly do? And the message that came through was, what about you? Like, what is it that you really want? And I took a step back and I looked at everything from a different perspective, because I'm the queen of perspectives. Not queen, I prefer to think of myself as goddess of perspectives. And I looked at everything that I was doing in my life. And I saw things missing. And I saw things that still had to be resolved. And I came to that realization, and it's spring equinox, and I'm like cleaning house, deleting people, getting rid of prior content that I was going to post, changing content that I was going to be posting to a much higher level of consciousness and intelligence, and really accepting that these things are happening now and I don't need to hide anymore. So of course my ego self started telling me things like this. My ego self started telling me things like, you think you're all that, don't you? You think you're better than other people, don't you? You think there's something special about you, don't you? And I battled with it for a week. I battled with it. And I said, is this true? Do I really feel this way? Am I really thinking this way about other people? Am I really thinking this way about myself? And finally, I was talking to someone today. We were working through something that she was talking to me about. And I started kind of talking to her on the next level because I could not connect with her energy. And that's very strange for me. That's what I do. Telepathically, energetically, even psychically, I have no problem with connecting with people's energies. And intuitionally, it's just a given now, really a given. And so I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. And I told her, something's coming through. So we were sitting there talking to each other. She lives down in the States, and she is an energy worker as well. She's been going through hell and a half with releasing her stuff. And I finally said, I think I figured it out. And she was talking to me about a business opportunity. And I was in a completely different world. I wasn't even hearing what she was talking about on the business or financial side. And I finally said, I think I figured it out. And she said, well, what? I said, this whole conversation, we haven't really been able to connect with each other energetically. I said, something's been coming through. I don't know what to do. I've kind of been holding on, trusting that whatever this will break, because I don't feel like myself. And then I told her, I said, I've been dealing with this concept of arrogance, feeling like I'm better than other people. And that's not how I really feel, but that's what my ego keeps telling me, is that that's how I feel. And I need to change the way that I'm feeling, because I don't want to be thinking that way about others. And it was hard. It was hard to express that. But I've gotten better at expressing things. And I said, I figured out what's really bothering me. I want to celebrate where I am in my journey. You know, the level of consciousness that I've been able to reach, the meditative level that I've been able to attain, the restfulness that I've been able to experience, the euphoria that I've been able to experience when I really am following my intuition and synchronicity. That's why I posted the quick little post trailer for the Celestine prophecy, because if you've never seen it, it really is beautiful in the way that it describes energy and synchronicity, and also the energies that we're going into, the 5D earth, etc., 5D consciousness. Most of us are between 3D and 4D consciousness right now. A lot of us are still stuck fully in 3D consciousness, where we are not very good at manifesting and whatnot, going into 4D consciousness where we're losing our concepts of time more so. And in that way, we become better at manifestation because we no longer are controlled as much by time. And then 5D is where you truly enter this euphoric state of consciousness, where you realize that you are connected to an aspect of one energy. And that energy is in everything that surrounds you. So that energy is pretty much simply another aspect of you. So everyone around you is simply another aspect of you. And that is 5D consciousness, which really puts us into a highly euphoric and creative state. So fear kind of dissipates. You can deal with the true foundations of fear when you're in a 5D state, and it pretty much dissipates. You follow your intuition, not your fear, and everything starts to change. And so I was expressing to my friend that I am feeling guilty because this concept, this possible feeling that I was maybe better than other people, or thinking that I was better than other people, is what was overpowering me. And I didn't want that vanity, if I can put it that way, to become something that was real for me. So I was disconnected because that message was coming through, and I could not express it until it had fully shown itself, fully come through. So then what ended up happening was, I said, I see what's, how this is coming full circle, and how this is actually something that I need to be coming forward and talking about celebration. Having a celebration in the place that I have reached, a celebration of level of consciousness, because I am so at peace. I feel that euphoric state. That's where I am. But then, of course, the vibration that I'm sending out is challenging other people's vibrations. So they're feeling threatened. And I cannot accept, it's not appropriate or beneficial for me to accept those expressions of frustration that they're feeling through the challenge of my vibration. I still must find that alignment in myself of celebration, simply because of where I am in myself. And then use that knowledge to inspire and send healing energies and deep, deep, deep empathy and compassion to those who are not there yet. I'm no better than anybody else. I'm simply at a different place in the game. I might be standing on top of a mountain right now, whereas you might be standing in a valley. It doesn't make us any less valuable or powerful than the other. Simply means we're in a different state of release and realization. I feel I wanted to say this because there are many of us, Starseeds, Lightworkers, who are coming into this realization of consciousness. And we are afraid to step forth in our multidimensional power because we do not want to be perceived as arrogant. And it's time for us to stop that. A parent does not hide their ability to care for their children because they're afraid that that child might see them as being too intelligent or arrogant or selfish. The parent sets the example for the child. And at this point in time, we are in an energy where if you are feeling like it's time to come forward with your business idea, if you are feeling like it's time to come forward with a deeper understanding or perspective that you want to share with the rest of the world, there are ears that are ready to hear. There are hearts that are ready to open. There are minds that are ready to open. This is the time now, right here, right now, in our history, in our civilization, in our everything. Okay, this is simply the time. The stars are aligned for us to be coming forward and being who we truly are, creating what we truly believe in our hearts we should be creating, and taking those steps forward to be the best versions of ourselves. If you have an idea, get out there, get online, make yourself visible, make yourself known. There are enough people who've set the example now for you to feel like you're not going to be some crazy person if you do this. This is the time to come forward in this strength and in this empowerment and do this. There are mentors, there are coaches, like myself, that are here to mentor you in that process so that you do not have to be alone, so that you do not have to be afraid, and so that you can feel as empowered as humanly possible. That's why we're here. I'm not here to listen to myself talk. So I feel more or less this is the direction that it's time to spur others onward in, truly coming forward, not being afraid, not being afraid of anything. Fear lowers your vibration, guilt lowers your vibration, shame lowers your vibration. If you're being called to something, do it. Do it. There's something else going on that you're not really cueing into yet, and it's there for you. It's waiting for you. There are people that are waiting to hear your message from you that will be in vibrational alignment with you, that may not be in vibrational alignment with another mentor, with another coach. They may be in vibrational alignment with you. Every mentor and coach is at a different place as well. This is something that I feel does not get enough press. Mentors and coaches are at different places in their journeys as well. I had a wonderful mentor. And where I was at and where she was at was perfect. I learned from her journey and she learned from my journey. It was really amazing. She was an amazing mentor, and having her as a mentor, making that choice, taking that step, putting forth that investment was certainly one of the best things I've ever done in my life. One of the most heartbreaking things for me was when she reached a level where she could no longer simply work one-on-one with people in order to share her magnificence. And she started working on a much wider scale. And I no longer felt like I was getting the attention as an individual in that state of growth that I needed. And so we part ways. I still support her in what she does. And from time to time, we'll still have our conversations and whatnot. Just quick little, hi, how are you? Nothing, she doesn't really mentor me anymore or anything like that. But I learned through that experience that every mentor is in a different position. So find a mentor that resonates with you. If you think that you're going to need to work with someone for 6 months, dedicate to working with that mentor for 6 months. If you feel like you're the kind of person that's going to need more than 6 months to work with a mentor, and then you're going to need follow up with that person after you found someone that you really resonate with, talk to them and say, hey, are you going to be around 6 months from now? What is the deal? So if I pay for 6 months of mentorship, I'm paying you, I don't know, prices range with mentors, but anywhere between $1,000 a month to several $1,000s a month. Or it's an actual course where you pay $26,000 or $50,000 or $60,000 upfront, or through a payment plan or whatever within the span of 12 weeks or whatever. It all depends on what type of mentorship program you're looking for. Then it becomes a whole different ball of wax. You are the one that needs to set the time frame that you need. And then you are the one that needs to go out, search out your mentor. Find someone who resonates with you. If you start with a mentor and they're not really resonating with you after a while, they're not really listening, they're not really inspiring to be the best version of yourself, they're not really giving you solutions that are working, and you don't feel like you're really growing, it's time to move on. It's time to find a different mentor. Mentors are not easy to find. There are tons of mentors out there, tons of coaches out there, tons of sessions, programs. Okay, this is why I will no longer do sessions. I will work with you on a private level and a personal mentor. Spiritual, higher self, quantum energy mentor. But I will not do individual sessions with people anymore because I feel like there is not enough time to access that deeper part of yourself through a session. I have done some life-changing 30-minute, hour sessions. Yes. But is that where I feel like my true gifts are? Do I feel like I'm going to be able to produce those results every single time, especially with people who are not truly as open? No, I believe my abilities, my gifts, my skills lie in the areas of continually working with individuals, building relationships so that I can get into every area of their life and eventually teach them how to release all of these things that have been pulling them down, breaking them down, keeping them from becoming the best and highest version of themselves and really getting past the 3D, 4D, and into 5D consciousness. All right. Well, I am going to go for a walk. That's why I put my boots on. So I'm going to go and do that. And I want to give you all a proverbial big hug and kiss energetically and say that I love you. You are seriously simply another aspect of me. And I will see you again soon. Namaste. Joy, growth, and gratitude always.